Welcome to the Yale Center Beijing. My name is Kris Mercuri, and I serve as Director of Admissions for Recruiting and Outreach at the Yale School of Management. Thrilled to be back here. My last visit to the center was in 2018, which is too long ago. So I'm thrilled to be back. And I want to thank you for being here at the Yale Center Beijing and as well online. I think we have a lot of folks tuning into our live stream. So thanks for being here. My hope is to share some time with you to discuss what makes the Yale School of Management distinctive among top MBA programs. Okay, so on the agenda today, I'm going to offer a brief program overview, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, high level, about some of the things you should know about the program that make it unique from any other MBA program in the world. And then I'll welcome some of my panelists, current student and recent alumni, to talk about the lived experience and their experience with the curriculum and their careers. So that will probably be the highlight of the event, and I'm thrilled that they're here with me. And then we'll open for your questions. We want to make sure this is an interactive session and you get to ask some questions that are on your mind. I will say we'll focus on the curriculum and the experience versus the application process. However, I'm here to be your resource. So if you have questions about the application process, I want to answer those questions for you. We can tackle most of those in the networking hour, or I invite you to join me online for upcoming events. Sound good? All right, great. So before we get started, I'd like to get a sense for who's in the room today. I can't poll everyone online, but how many of you are just thinking about an MBA and exploring the idea of an MBA, just doing some research? Few, okay. Good, thanks for sharing your hands. And how many of you are committed to the MBA? You know that the MBA is the next step for you. You're planning your applications, okay. All right, a few more hands up. And then lastly, how many of you are interested in our Silver Scholars program? Okay, all right, so good audience, good audience. Again, thank you for joining me. So at the Yale School of Management, our mission is to educate leaders for business and society. And this is something that we care deeply about. I like to say it's in our DNA at the school. It was our founding mission, and it means that we want to be successful in both our careers and having a positive impact on society. Okay, so this is something that we're looking for candidates who align with this mission and can carry it forward in their careers. Okay. So we really aim to develop leaders and decision makers who understand the multiple influences of decision making, the various stakeholders that you need to consider in a really complex global business world that's becoming increasingly more complex. And so to have breadth of knowledge and understand moving pieces is really crucial in your ability to lead and be a decision maker for business and society. Okay, so there are three things that I'll talk to you about that make the School of Management different from any other MBA program in the world. We are the business school most integrated with its home institution, Yale University, and I'll talk to you about why that's important to us and could be very important to you. We also aim to be the business school that's most distinctively global, and I'll talk about how we measure that and how we find that meaningful in your education. And the third piece is we aim to be the best source of elevated leaders for all sectors and regions. So at the heart of your MBA is your refining and defining your leadership style. And so we'll talk about how we approach leadership education at the School of Management. Okay, so the first item, our connection to our home institution. When you come to the Yale School of Management, you come to Yale University, and we feel like that is a relationship you should leverage. When you come to Yale, you should reap the rewards of amazing faculty and staff and resources of a world-renowned institution. Okay, so many ways in which formal and informal, many ways in which you can leverage that relationship. I think the most tangible thing I can talk about is the second year of the MBA curriculum. Okay, so the first year of our MBA curriculum is the core integrated curriculum. Everyone moves through that together. Everyone receives the core curriculum. The second year is yours. The second year, you can take electives anywhere at Yale University. This is a unique opportunity among business schools. So it's not 4 courses or a handful of courses that you could propose and ask permission to take outside of the business school. At Yale, we encourage you to take classes outside of the business school. You can take any Yale University class you're interested in. It could be in the arts, it could be in history, it could be in law, medicine, whatever you choose. And you can really craft and customize your experience and your curriculum. You don't have that opportunity at other schools. And this ethos is what I call kind of cross-pollination, where you get to expand your network with other Yale University students and expand your exposure to different disciplines. This is not just an opportunity for the School of Management students, it's actually an opportunity for all Yale University students. So even if you never leave Evans Hall at the School of Management, there will be students from the law school, the medical school, the college who are coming into our building to take their electives, okay? So we really believe that this integration among our community members serves us really well. Okay. The next piece is the global piece. Many schools have global engagements and opportunities, if not all top MBA programs. But ours is very unique. We were actually the first MBA program to require global study, and now we're the MBA program with the most global class options and diversity types of global classes. Okay. And that's largely driven by our partnership with the Global Network for Advanced Management. This is now 32 business schools on 6 different continents. You might be interested to know that a few of your universities are on the list of 32, Remnen and Fudan. Also, Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, NUS, National University of Singapore, and also Seoul National University. Okay, in addition to many others. So through this agreement of diffuse reciprocity, we've expanded our reach and also our network. So very quickly, there's a lot of detail I could offer here, but I'll go pretty high level. There are 5 different types of global study our MBA students can engage in. These are the 5 types. Each of these types has multiple offerings, okay? So looking at number 2, Global Network Week. If you think back to the previous slide, the 32 business schools around the world, a Global Network Week is when you choose to take a class at one of those schools. They're typically 1-week classes. They're offered in both October and March. And each of those months will have 15 to 25 different schools offering a course. Okay, so that's where you go to that university's campus. You're taught by their faculty in a truly global classroom. Okay, so that's one of 5 different options. Different from that is option number 1, international experience course. This is fairly similar to some international opportunities that our peer schools offer. This is where Yale faculty take you and your Yale students on a trip overseas to really engage deeply in an economy. And we usually offer 6 to 8 different trips each year, where you're very much boots on the ground, meeting with business leaders, government leaders, et cetera, in a region of the world. Okay, and then there are more, obviously. So the short story of it is our MBA students at Yale have upwards of 60 global classes to choose from each year, with a varied type of engagement. So it's really a unique opportunity. Most of our students go abroad for coursework twice, sometimes 3 times in their 2 years at Yale. Okay. And now the third piece, the how we train and teach leadership. Okay. So the core curriculum at the Yale School of Management is entirely unique and quite a departure from the traditional MBA core curriculum, okay? Instead of teaching by disciplines in silos, so think finance class, marketing class, accounting class, we teach an integrated core. Okay, so we teach 10 courses in the core curriculum that are stakeholder perspectives. So if I click to this slide, these are the names of the 10 core courses. So you put on the hat of that stakeholder in that class, and you approach your business education through this perspectives approach, okay? And each class will integrate multiple business disciplines. So as an example, sourcing and managing funds, you'll touch on finance, strategy, and more. Many of these classes are team taught by faculty with different areas of expertise. So this is where you get the integration. This is more challenging. It's more challenging for us to pull off staff-wise, you know. It's more challenging to learn. It's really demanding. It includes not having the blinders on, but being a very broad thinker. And again, understanding the interconnectedness of things and how stakeholders have to think broadly about the decisions that they make. Okay, so this is a very unique approach. We think it's more reflective of the real world versus learning in silos. We also think it very much reflects our mission to educate leaders for business and society. Okay, so through these three pieces, the connection to Yale, the connection globally, and the stakeholder perspectives, you can see that integration is a theme. Integration is a theme and very important to how we approach business education. Okay, so I've been at Yale for 10 years now, and I've been in, actually this center, Yale Center Beijing, is 10 years old. So we actually celebrated the anniversary recently. And Evans Hall, the School of Management's new home, is 10 years old. So I think I'm kind of dovetailed into something very special. In my 10 years at the School of Management, how I would describe the community is a bright and ambitious community. I see our students as very humble and invested in their futures, but also invested in the futures and the interests of their peers. And I think that's something that makes the community really special. And so speaking of special, tonight we have a panel, and I'm wondering, yeah, there they are. I'll invite the panelists to come over and have a seat. And you can hear from the students and recent alumni themselves about what made their Yale SOM experience special and how they've leveraged some of the resources that we've just talked about. Okay, so I'll invite my panelists to come on over. All right, thank you, ladies, for joining us today. First, I would love if you could introduce yourselves to the audience, to our friends online. Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you were doing before your MBA, what you're doing now, and then we'll get to some deeper questions. So we'll start here.
Hello, everyone. I'm Emilia. I'm originally from Wuhan. I went to Wuhan University. And after that, I moved to Chicago. Prior to Yale MBA, I was a senior financial engineer and a quantitative researcher working for FactSet. And then, so this summer, I interned in Vanguard, the investment management firm, investment management industry. And then, so after graduation, so I decided to pursue my career in investment management.
Hi everyone, my name is Fang Fei. 大家可以叫我方菲. So prior to MBA, I actually did my undergrad in Michigan, if there's any alumni. And then after that, I did corporate strategy in American Airlines for a couple of years. And actually just started working last week. I'm currently with BCG in the Beijing office. So if anyone is interested in SLM, job switch, anything like that, let me know.
Hello, good morning. My name is Demi. I was born and raised up here in Beijing, and I finished my undergrad education at Renmin University of China. Before SOM, I spent a couple of years at the aviation industry. I worked as an internal consultant for a domestic airline, and then I currently have my internship at Google Shanghai office.
Hi everyone, my name is Amy. I'm from Shandong, Jinan. I just graduated from NYU and just finished my first year as a Silver Scholar. So I plan to work in Accenture Shanghai office for several years before returning back to SOM for my second year.
Great, thank you. So we have a Silver Scholar for those of you interested in the program. So I'd like to begin our conversation with you reflecting back a few years ago on why you decided to pursue an MBA and what were you looking for? Once you decided this is what you wanted to do next, what were you looking for in an MBA program? Anybody want to start? We don't have to go in order necessarily. Do you want to start, Amelia?
Yeah, I can start. Yeah. So as I just mentioned, so before coming to Yale, I was a senior quantitative researcher. And then, so at that time, I feel that I reached a point in my career where I truly wanted to switch my gear, either into investment management industry or tech industry. So at that time, I saw MBA is a perfect opportunity for me to explore these possibilities and then discover what actually where I can maximize or make the biggest impact. And then in my previous role, so I was focused on the backend research and engineering. So I feel like it was the right time for me to step out my comfort zone. I truly want to further build my leadership and the stakeholder management skills. And I believe MBA program would be with its courses and networking opportunities would be an ideal environment for me to do that. And then also networking and then talking with people from different industry would truly help me broaden my horizons. I don't really want to limit myself or my future to what I already knew. And that's why I decided to pursue MBA. Oh, and plus at that time, I really feel like I need a break or a vacation. So and wanted to enjoy being a student again. So there is something special about being a student. So all the possibilities the future holds. So that's why I made the decision. And I think that's one of my best decisions in my life. Yeah. And then when it comes to what's the most important to me in an MBA program, if I have to make rank, I would say the career outcome, I would rank the career outcome at the top. And then because I truly want to find a platform for me to explore and then to ensure a good outcome, no matter which path I chose. And then strong and close alumni network was also very crucial to me because I think I really want to get guidance, and broaden my horizon, from the alumni that I talk with. And then next one, I would say community. So I truly want to spend my precious 2 years in a place where I feel I belong to.
Sorry. I think for me, career switch is definitely one of the first reason. I think probably many of you have worked a couple years already, and there's the point of life in your career that you just feel like, what am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? Or there's something that you actually want to do, but probably not very easy to break into without a MBA study, without a transition from a good program. So I think that's where I was before. I was kind of really into the type of work I was doing, very analytical, project-based, exciting. But at the same time, I think airline is a little bit just niche industry, and also the location choice for an airline company is very limited. So basically, if I want to do something more, what could be the options? I don't know. So basically, I think MBA would probably help me to answer that question. And luckily at SLM, I think there was so many opportunities, clubs, recruiting events. I'm not going to spoil the following question, but they definitely helped me to reach to the goal and to get to where I want to be.
Yeah, I think for me, the first reason is that I majored in communication and journalism back in college, and I worked many years as internal consultant. So for a long time, I think I really need a more systematic way of learning about the business world, business knowledge. And in this perspective, I think MBA program is a good choice for me. And second reason is that pretty much like Faye, we are sharing the similar background. We all work for airlines. And for me also, yeah, pivot to another role, like pivot to another industry and to explore new things, to see another like opportunities and possibilities is also very important to me. So yeah, and then just perspective, MBA program will be a very reasonable choice for me. So yeah, that is the reason I made my decision to apply for MBA program. And then also, I think the resource of the alumni and the vibe of the school and program is very important to me.
I guess the deciding process for Silver Scholar is kind of different because at the first, the Silver Scholar program was not in my radar, to be super honest. I also applied to a lot of specialized master, but I didn't have a very clear career goal in the future. So one of my friends recommended Silver Scholar program to me and tell me you can explore many different things during the Silver Scholar program. And so I found it's a very cool program. So I would say the most important factor for me is your future career goal, because every program has its own advantages and disadvantages, but the best MBA program should be the one that suits you the most.
I told you, bright and ambitious, this group. So my next question is, what were some of the opportunities or resources that you leveraged during your time at SOM? It could be curriculum, faculty, studying abroad, career resources. What were the things you found most impactful in your experience?
Sorry, this might sound a bit like cliche, but definitely going to the events, admission events, is like one of my top, because I remember when I was applying, I actually went to a few events, and then also because I was based in US, so you can actually go visit the campus. Most of the school would have an open day. Actually, at SLM, I think we have, like, I remember last semester, we have incoming students, prospective students coming in every Thursday or Friday and just participate in some of our classes, sit next to me, asking questions, things like that. I think it's very, like, we're always very welcoming. So if you ever get a chance, like maybe traveling to US, definitely leverage that opportunity. It's going to give you a first-hand experience of what the school is like, and you can talk to everyone that, like anyone that you see in the hallway or just in the campus, and you can basically get an idea about whether you're going to like it there. So I think that's for me. Thank you. It's probably like one of the top helper. Yeah.
Sure, I can go next. So during my application, I feel like networking was absolutely one of like the most impactful resource for me. So at that time, I sent out like countless cold emails and messages like on LinkedIn or like directly into others like email box. So from Yale, I almost got like a 100% response rate. So I'm connecting with different like current students and alumni. So I think this conversation was really helpful. So like give me like really deep insights into like the competitive advantages, the strengths, and the cultures of different programs. I realized that so each school has its own unique community, and we students share very distinct styles and qualities. So I highly recommend you like reach out to like people from different schools and then get to know like their personalities, their styles, and then get to know the culture, the vibe of that school. And then you can find like the best place that would fit for your personality, and then where like you are most comfortable with.
Yeah, I'm just going to give a shout out to our campus visitor program, which Faye mentioned. We host about 3 on average a month, year round. The best time to come is during the academic year because the students are there. And as mentioned, you can sit in on a live class. You're welcomed into the classroom. You have lunch with students. You have a Q&A with admissions officer like myself. It's a very full day, robust program. I understand that's time and money. It's not available to everyone, but if you have that opportunity, it can be very helpful. Also mentioning the network, we have not only our panelists today as a resource for you, but also if you go to our website, we have student ambassadors. And these are students who just raised their hand to say, I would love to talk to prospective students. We do not pay them. We do not script them. They just volunteer their time to connect with you. And you can filter, there's maybe 60 of them. You can filter by citizenship, industry, club, activity, etc. So you can find the students that you're most interested in connecting with. That's helpful. Okay. And then you mentioned the community. So how would each of you describe, or at least a few of you describe, the Yale SOM community now that you've been there, lived the experience, lived in New Haven, and spent a lot of time in the building? How would you describe the SOM community?
So if I have to use 3 words to describe the community, I would say supportive, friendly, and humble. So due to our smaller class sizes, we only have more than 300 people there each year. So I think the environment is less competitive, but more for friendly and supportive. So during our recruiting, so we focusing on helping each other instead of competing with each other. So I think that's actually truly make our community unique.
Likewise, I think it's a very supportive community. Especially when you have any concerns, questions, you want to reach out with any of the current students, second-year students, or alumni. Actually, everybody will give you 100% of the support, and they would like to share with you their own experiences, which is very valuable. And then also, I think people are really, really friendly, and then you can always find where you can get your information, and then people surround are so nice.
Yeah, I would describe it as a very inclusive and proactive, because no matter whatever ideas you have, you can always find friends to go along with. And also because everyone is fighting for our own goals, as well as be supportive to each other. So it's a very friendly environment.
I want to share some different perspective because I just graduated, and 2 months away from school, I truly miss my classmates. Honestly, that's, I guess, how much a good community we had, because you definitely feel I think people actually in SLM are probably the most smart but humble people that we had, or at least I have seen in my life. People you can strike a very intelligent conversation with everyone that you see in SLM, but they all seem super humble, and none of them are going to be occupying any of the conversation. And you not only see that in the recruiting events, for example, if there is one recruiter, obviously everyone want to make the impression with that person. But in SLM, you can see that people automatically welcoming new people to joining the conversation and leave time for you to ask question if you haven't asked question for a while. It's not very commonly seen in other MBA program. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but it's anecdote that I heard. So that's just one of them. And the second part of it is it's a very tight community. We have 300 people in the MBA class. We all live in the small town of New Haven, and we love to explore things together. On the weekends, sometimes traveling to New York together. It's very how to say, just people you can not only work with, ask questions to, but also have fun with. I think you can truly make long-lasting friendship in our community.
Okay, I have one more question before we open for your questions. Let's talk about careers. As mentioned, Amelia, this was one of the things you went to an MBA for, to pivot. A few of you have looked to pivot your careers, and career outcomes was really important in your search. So what were some of the resources or opportunities, experiences that you leveraged in your career search? So for an internship and post-MBA.
I would say the career club is very, very helpful and beneficial. So I attended consulting club and tech club, and then you can just follow your case leader. Yeah, actually the organizer of the club just separated people into several groups, and each group they will assign a very experienced second-year students to lead you and train you. So that is where I know Faye's a very great case leader, and then she's such a talent person. And then actually just follow your case leader. They will help you to prepare everything from to manage your timeline, to prepare for your CV, your behavior questions, and also help you to like tackling with the cases, and you will know you will have a deeper understanding about how it goes on your interview. So I think it's really, really helpful. And also I think CDO is also very helpful as well, because they will provide you with a lot of information about the companies, the recruiting informations. So those are a couple of a lot of resources that you can leverage to your hunting or job.
I'll just intervene to say the CDO stands for Career Development Office, like a career services office. And they have a large team, and they are both inward and outward facing. So they're inward in that they know you and your resume, what you're looking to do, and you know who to talk to. You can have one-on-one appointments and leverage a lot of resources they provide, but also outward in the sense that they make relationships with employers whom you want to work with. So they know who's hiring, what they're looking for, are they sponsoring visas, et cetera. So they're doing work on both sides of the coin in on behalf of our students.
So I want to add some color to what Demi said regarding the student club. So from a high level, so there are two different career tracks, either like structured recruiting or unstructured recruiting. So investment banking, consulting, like sits like on the structured recruiting side, and then like investment management, PE, VC, I would say like it's on the unstructured side, and then tech is somehow like sitting in the middle. So if you want to like be a like PM, so we do have like curriculum for you to follow. So for consulting, investment banking and the tech PM. So if you follow the curriculum, the student club they provide, so basically you will like ensure you will have a like really good outcome. Regarding like the unstructured recruiting, especially for investment management, and then so I still want to like emphasize the networking. And then so during my like when I searched for my internship, so I got an interview from a specific company. Then I reached out to one of the alum work there. And then so immediately she connect me to 10 different people in that company and within the team that I want to be in. And then so I had a coffee chat with each of them, and I got a lot of opinions and insights, which I think are instrumental for my internship, like my interview preparation. So that is really crucial. So if you want to follow the unstructured recruiting, definitely you want to leverage the alumni resources.
Yeah, I think it's a really good point. The alumni network is very important in your experience and your career outcomes. And I do think it's worth mentioning that when we talked about the curriculum opportunities, the curricular opportunities at Yale, how you have that second year, you can take classes anywhere at Yale University. And that's something that everyone, the medical students, the law students, they can also come into our building. So it's really one Yale. And so when you're thinking about reaching out to alumni, it might be an alum who didn't go to SOM, but went to the undergrad institution that you can also reach out to in your network, which is very powerful.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I know like a lot of people actually mention Yale SOM is a relatively young MBA program, but actually you can leverage the resources like from Yale University. So Yale SOM is absolutely backed by Yale University. So you can, so during my recruiting, so actually I got a lot of support and guidance from like your college and then from the other schools within your university. So the resources you can get is actually beyond your expectation.
Yeah, I would say also one program called mentorship program sponsored by CDO is also very helpful. So at some point of time, you're paired with one or two mentors, and you can always chat with mentors if you have any problems or questions during your career search or some like resume preparation process, or you want to schedule a mock interview with your mentors. That's all welcome.
So Amy, I'm going to stay with you for a minute as a Silver Scholar. I often get this question from prospective students. What kind of support do Silver Scholars get for their year-long internship? And let me first back up. For those of you who are not familiar, our Silver Scholars program is a gateway to the 2-year MBA for students who are still seniors in college. So they have no full-time work experience. They're in their senior year. They apply for the MBA at Yale. They join, as Amy did, right after they graduate. They do the first year core curriculum, the integrated core. Then instead of a summer-long internship, they do a year-long internship, sometimes 2 years, depending. And then they return for their second year of the MBA curriculum. So it's curriculum, work experience, curriculum, then they graduate. So a lot of times prospective students say, well, who offers a year-long internship? How do I find that? And how would you, in your experience, how would you explain how you've seen your peers and what was your experience in securing that internship?
Yeah, definitely. So I think for silver scholars, the best, like resources is also about the alumni network. Because for silver scholars, it's kind of different because some silver scholars cannot recruit for the associate level. We're all like basically apply for the analyst level. So at this point of time, some of the career events probably are not super like suited for silver scholars. But at this point of time, we will reach out to our alumni respectively, and all alumni are very like friendly and supportive. They provide us with a lot of like career resources and also some like for consulting, the mock interviews, and also a lot of like resume preparation, etc. And also I would say another function of CDO is that CDO is very like helpful because not only the career like outcomes we can get from CDO, but also we can get a lot of mental support from CDO. Like CDO are always like encouraging us to try different things, try to find different career paths for ourselves.
Great, thank you. I want to be mindful of time. I see it's 11:15, and I want to make sure that we have time for networking. So we'll wrap with one final question. What advice do you have for our audience, our prospective MBA students, as they're considering the MBA, researching schools, and learning more, and also preparing applications? What advice do you have?
I guess the first one's advice is to be open-minded and think outside of the box, to explore different career paths, different stuffs. And the second advice is just trying to enjoy the time after you're getting the offer.
Well, I think first of all, I think during my application process, I think one of the biggest obstacle is that the information gap. And then, so I think first of all, you can look at the official website. There is tons of information can help you, and especially you can look at the class profile. You will know what is the standard, and then you will know which part you can do better, or like whether to make some self-evaluations. That will be very helpful. And second of all, I think to do some networks. And then I still remember I left a lot of message on my social website. And that is where I know Faye at the very first time. And just left a message like, hi, my name is Wow. And then I know you have this experience. I'm so curious about you and this program. We'd like to talk a little bit. And I got 100% of the alumni from Yale. So just left a message. That will be very helpful. And third, I think to prepare everything as earlier as possible. I think if you have enough time, you will do a more comprehensive research, and then you will have this chance to prepare you, no matter your scores, your essays. I think that will be great, and then that will be more reasonable for the application.
For me, I think personally, I did this, and I actually really recommend. I would say using the application process as a reflecting point of your career or your life in general, and just think about what you have done, why you want to apply for this, why do you think this is important for you, and where do you want to go after this. It's not only very important for the admission to actually understand that, to pick the most best fit for the program, but also it's a really important question to ask yourself so that it helps you to find the most matching best fit program for yourself. It also would guide you to use the 2 years at the program the most. So I would say, yeah, definitely think a little bit deeper on your end, and you would enjoy the process more.
So for me, so I think I have 2 suggestions. So one is during the application, so be authentic. So tell the story that deeply resonates with you, and then be real, and then tell AO what let us know like what is your value and then what matters to you the most. The results, of course, is very important, like matters. And then, but the experience and the process is just itself is just as important. And then so like, yes, so tell the AO like your value and get to know the real you during the application. And then so after you get into the MBA program, so I think the best course is that, so you already know like what do you want to do in the future, and you can focus on that and then prioritize it. But it's also okay that still you are not exactly sure what you want to do in the future. So MBA is a really great platform for you like to explore. So network as much as possible. So don't limit yourself, your future within the things you already know.
Great advice. Thank you so much.